Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. What I think Drake did, which was very smart, is I think he leaked that unfinished version. He got to get a pulse of what people thought of it. And after 2 hours, now put out the track that he had already done and mastered and then give it to academics. That's what I think, which is actually genius. Like, just please don't get me wrong. Kendrick, this is check. It's not checkmate, but it's check. Your turn to move. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it is Monday morning. I am refreshed and rested. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I got a good show set up for you guys today. Of course, our lead story is going to be Drake. That's all the entire weekend was about. Drake finally responded to the entire rap industry, so we're going to talk about that. Then we got quick news. We're going to talk about Trey Songz and Cenat. And then in sports news, I got more Drizzy, Rick Ross, Thurman. Stick around for that. It's actually great. I'm going to break down like the after effects of the Drake diss song. Then we got question of the day and then sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, devices, or your radios up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Drake's diss track surfaces online and he takes shot at Kendrick, Rick Ross, Future, and Metro. All right, so I don't know where you guys were Saturday when this kind of leaked out online. For those of you who are not seeing this on YouTube, I'm using the air quotations, leaked online. We all know that Drizzy put it out. Yeah, so I think it was, if I remember, I think it was like 1, 2 o'clock on Saturday. Started popping up on the blogs. Yo, leaked this. Is it AI? Is it not AI? Is it real? And allegedly what happened, it was that there was a couple of beats and this version that we got at first wasn't mastered. And then they put out the official track through academics. So shout out to academics for getting that track and then premiering it kind of like in the old school way, like Joe Button said, for those of you who are listening to the live, where he's like, yo, academics is the new mix show DJ, like back in the day. So what I think, first, before we get into it, for those of you wondering that AI reference track, quote unquote, what I think Drake did, which was very smart, is I think he leaked that unfinished version. He got to get a pulse of what people thought of it. And that's why people are like, is it real? Is it AI? And most of the people are like, yo, if this is AI, I don't know, but all I know is that it's good. Yo, these lines are fire. Yo, Drake went at this person and that person. And people are like, yo, this can't be AI. It's too good. So he got to get a feeler. And after 2 hours, now put out the track that he had already done and mastered and then give it to academics. That's what I think, which is actually genius. Like, just please don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with that at all. I just think it's genius. And it's not on DSP, digital streaming platforms. It's literally just put out on the internet. That's where we are now, 2024. It's not back in the day CDs or on MySpace or whatever. It's literally on the blogs, online, on social media, YouTube Live. Shout out to YouTube. But like I always tell you guys, that's where entertainment lives now. It's no longer on TV or back in the day and MTV or BET or on the radio, Funkmaster Flex. No, man, it's through the internet, it's through streamers, and it's through YouTube. So shout out to academics, shout out to Drizzy, shout out to the whole delivery of this whole diss track. All right, so let's get to talking about the diss track. Actually, okay, I'm going to play a little snippet of it just for the radio on YouTube. Obviously, I can't play it for copyright reasons. So here's a little bit of the Drake diss. I think the track is called Push Up or 50 Push-Ups or something like that. Anyways, take a listen. What's a prince or a king? He a son. All right, so before we start getting into it, just want to give you my take. I thought it was a very, very solid reply to Kendrick. I thought it was very smart. I don't think he went for the jugular. I don't think he said anything crazy. I'm not going to go in like dissecting it. I'm sure anybody who's listening to this, you have already heard a million people break down what each line means, what he said, why he said it, what this means or what that doesn't mean, etc. So I'm just going to give you my take. I thought it was smart. I thought it was good. I thought I would give it like an 8 on 10. And it was exactly what Drake needed to do. Kendrick, on Like That, gave Drake some, I wouldn't even call it jabs, to be honest with you. He just said, yo, I'm not part of the big three, on me. I mean, I think he literally kind of just like gave Drake some taps. I think Drake came back and gave him some jabs, gave him, you know, maybe like a slap. I wouldn't even say it was a punch. You know, he said, you're short, you have a size 7 feet. You know what I mean? Like, you have a 50-50 split with Top Dog. You got to listen to Top Dog, drop down and give me 50. You know, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think the diss to Metro was even worse when he said, yo, Metro, shut your ass up. Just make some drums. I think that line, I think everybody unanimously liked that line the best. I want to talk about, first of all, about Kendrick, then I'll talk to you about like Rick Ross and all the other people. So I think that he addressed Kendrick. He said what he needed to say. It was a retaliation. It was good. The track was good. The delivery was good. It wasn't like back-to-back level. It wasn't a song that we're going to be playing in the clubs. I mean, I didn't go out this weekend, but I don't know. Maybe some people played it. Some DJs play it, but that's not going to be a back-to-back. It's not going to be an album track. But what a lot of people don't remember, because everybody talks about, it's not back-to-back, not back-to-back. And that was the Meek Mill's diss, for those of you who don't remember, but I'm sure most of you do. But if you guys remember, Drake didn't come with back-to-back first. He came with Charged Up. Charged Up. He came out Charged Up, and everybody was like, oh, that's kind of like, that's all right. That's a light jab towards Meek Mill. And then 4 days later, he said he came with back-to-back. He said, I waited for y'all. I waited 4 days. Where y'all at? He came back. So we all know that Drake is very strategic, and I think that's why everybody's so excited, because we know that it's lyrical and strategic. So I think Drake did what he had to do. I think he came harder than Kendrick did. No diddy, pause. And I think it's Kendrick's turn. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people are saying it's not Kendrick's turn. This was 1 for 1. Drake needs to let out his nuclear weapon before Kendrick lets out his. And that's what really everybody is really waiting on. Joe Budden said he has good word that Drake has a nuclear weapon track recorded ready for Kendrick, and Kendrick supposedly has a nuclear track recorded for Drake for the past 4 years that he'll update here and there, but he has a track that will apparently end Drake's career. Drake says he has a track that will end Kendrick's career. So we're waiting to see who needs to come out with that first. That's why I'm not even talking about Rick Ross and all those other people. I will talk about them later on, and like I said, in Speed News, we'll talk about that, but all that's comical. The battle that everybody wants to see and the battle that everybody needs to focus on is Drake and Kendrick. That's the battle we want. That's what everyone's talking about. That's what everyone's waiting for. That's the reason for all of this. So I think Drake did his thing. And in my opinion, although it's a little bit biased because I think Drake is the GOAT, well, the GOAT of right now, the past 20 years, top 3. I think he did what he had to do. I think he defended himself. He came out. He said, oh, I'm ready to challenge you. And I personally think it's Kendrick's turn to reply. And I just don't think he needs to come back with another light jab. He needs to come back with a nuclear weapon. Like, that's it. No more playing around. We need this, or I think Kendrick loses if he doesn't reply or he comes back with a light jab. I actually think if he comes back with a light jab or a couple of little light punches and says a couple of little things, like, I don't even think Drake should reply. Like, we're not here playing around. We've been playing around for the past 4 or 5 years with this whole battle. So that's my take on Drake's comeback. So let me talk about Rick Ross now, because of everybody who Drake mentioned, let me just remember, get the thing back here. It was, who did he mention here? They're saying, so Kendrick, Rick Ross, Future, Metro. He even said something about, to John Morant. Yeah, he put a couple people in there. I thought it was all good. Thought it was all funny. Like I said, the best line was the Metro. But out of the weekend, the thing that people are talking about the most is Rick Ross, because Rick Ross, apparently like an hour after the leak version came out, Ross put himself on Instagram laughing. It looked like he was in the studio. And then an hour later, he sent a reply diss track to Academics. And I have a little clip of it. Again, same thing on YouTube. It cannot play for you, but on the radio, I'll play you guys a little snippet. So listen to it, and then we'll talk about it after. Here it is.
Niggas leaking their records when we speaking directly. If we keeping the gangster, when you see me, you check me.
All right. So as much as a fan of Drizzy that I am, yo, that was a solid. No, forget. Sorry, that was a very good reply. Yo, that was dope. Like Ross came hard, no Diddy. That was tough. The beat was tough. The delivery was tough. Like, and I'm a big 50 fan, so I gotta, I can't really rock with Ross that much, but as a fan of hip hop, I just have to be honest. Like, it's a dope track. Ross is a dope artist. He's a dope lyricist. Just more than that, his delivery, his voice, like it just sounds big. He sounds like a boss. He sounds, sounds like an Italian mobster. You know what I mean? Like Ross is dope, man. I cannot lie. Like when I talk about LeBron and Jordan and stuff. Like when I talk about this thing, like I don't rock with Ross. I just mean like as the character. I'm sure he's a good dude. Like this is all just in fun, But so his track was super dope. And he came out and he said that Drake had a BBL, that Drake had a nose job. So back and forth online all weekend, Drake, I'll talk about it more in Speed News, that, Drake was like, he texted his mom, he made a joke about him having a nose job and about a BBL, and he got a tummy tuck and all of this stuff. But I think that's all fun and games and that's jokes. Future didn't say anything. Metro didn't say anything. But the Rick Ross stuff was funny, and I just got to give a salute to Rick Ross. He got into booth in 2 hours, had a reply that was dope. Like, if anything, I think Ross's reply, I don't even know the name of it, but I think Ross's reply could actually live, and that could actually be a track. You know what I mean? Like, it's dope. Like, the beat is dope, the flow is dope, the delivery is dope. Like, that could be a track that we hear. But the only problem I think that Ross made is that it was too exaggerated. Like, there's no truth to it. Like, Drake didn't have a nose job. He put up pictures. You could clearly see that his nose never really changed. You know what I mean? He's putting up pictures when he was 15 to now. If you put up a picture of me at 15 or now, my nose is going to look different too. You know what I mean? You're just a little kid. So I think it's a little bit too exaggerated for it to live. The thing with a good diss track is that if it's real, like Push's track to Drake was about his son, that was real. Back to back was everything was real. So when it's real, it could live. You know what I mean? Or No Vaseline or whatever. Can't think of other tracks right now, but sorry, Ether, Takeover. It's all facts, So, but I have to shout out Ross for coming back after 2 hours. Anyways, I don't want to go on too long about it. That is my one lead story for today. Salute Drake, even salute Ross, but most importantly, Drake has responded, like a lot of people said that he wouldn't. He's responded. He's ready. He said he has more in the cut. Kendrick says he has more in the cut. Kendrick, this is check. It's not checkmate, but it's check. Your turn to move. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Trey Songz settles lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault in a 2016 house party. So I don't know how much you guys have followed this whole thing with Trey Songz. I've been following it. I think I did talk about it a couple of weeks ago. They allegedly say that like he's as bad as R. Kelly and Diddy. I don't know. This story leaked over a weekend that there was so much going on in the music industry. Nobody really heard about it. Sorry, or nobody even really talked about it. But I think when this story gets more legs and there's not a bunch of media, I think this will take up. So I'll read you guys the story. Trey Songz has reportedly settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault at a house party. Last February, a woman sued the singer under the name Jane Doe for allegedly sexually assaulting her in 2016. She was initially seeking $25 million for mental and emotional distress, but according to Radar Online, the settlement amount has not been disclosed. Trey Songz reportedly, and then it says click on for more information. So that's really it for right now. He has settled the lawsuit. We don't know how much for. Normally, when somebody is asking for that amount, it normally lands half way between there. So think around 15 to 20. It could have been actually even more, 25 to 30. I don't know if Trey Songz really has that on him, but who knows? But I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Trey Songz definitely has this allegation on him, on his back. He has settled it, and apparently there are a couple more looming in the background. So I will keep you guys up to date on it. Kai Cenat is suing an OnlyFans female after she leaked messages of him paying for having sex. All right, this is another court case, kind of. I'll walk you guys through it. This is just developing, that just came out yesterday. But apparently, Kai Cenat had a girl come over and he was paying her, and she leaked some pictures of him, and he was sleeping next to her, cuddling. I don't know if I have those pictures. I do. I'll put them up on my YouTube page at Trent Out Loud. So the pictures are like him sleeping. They're in Kai's bedroom. And then when they first came out, people are like, what are you exposing? That you had sex with Kai Cenat? Like, that's not a big deal. Like, Kai is 22 years old. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have a wife. Like, there's nothing exposing, right? Like, he's a single guy. He could do whatever he wants to do. So then Kai came on his Kai came on his live. I actually have a little clip, and he said this in response to her putting up the pictures. Listen to this.
Some dumb clout chasing weird ass going on right now, bro. But it's all right though. I'll see you in court.
So Kai, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but he went on to say this happened in 2023. He's going to bring her to court, etc., etc. Okay, so we're all here thinking, okay, here's this OnlyFans model putting out pictures that she was in Kai's bedroom with him. He was sleeping, and he is going to sue her for, leaking pictures. And apparently, he has her in an NDA. Okay, most of these celebrities right now will have somebody's coming to their house. They'll take away their phones, have them sign an NDA, so things like this can't happen. So Kai made it look like he had her locked up, not locked up in that way, but locked up in an NDA, and she was going to get in trouble for leaking pictures or having pictures in his house. Then she now put out text messages saying that he owes her $5,000 for hush money for something. And then she actually even put out this video, and this is where things got a little bit more serious. Take a listen to this.
Oh, we taking people to court? I'm ready to take you to court, little P.Diddy Jr. How about you trying to stand between one of your homies and all that? Don't forget about I got all that in the T2. Receipt for that too. See, that's where it got serious now. And since she put this out, this was Sunday night. I haven't heard anything else. I didn't check this morning, but so it's like the whole Diddy case, right? Where quote unquote sex trafficking is you could have a girl and fly her to another city or fly her in, and that is quote unquote trafficking because you're transporting. So I'm not saying Kai did this, but in court with technicalities, I don't know how legal it is to offer and try to, like what she said, to quote unquote offer another girl services to another one of your friends. And if she's paying for that, right? Like if you are paying a girl for something, then that's between you guys. I think then that's the girl at fault, because then that's prostitution, right? But if now you are with a girl and you say, hey, one of my friends wants to do something, and you broker that, then that's where Kai could get into trouble. And Kai is a good dude. He does his stream. He's not like academics, not saying anything about academics, but because I love both of them. But you know what I mean? Like Ak is more always like coming at people, fighting with Young Miami. He's fighting with Jess Hilarious on the Breakfast Club or whatever. Like Kai is like streaming. He plays his music. He's dancing in his basement. Like Kai is a good dude. So he just signed a Nike deal. He was just at NBA All-Star. So I hope this doesn't turn into anything. Like I always say, even with the Diddy case, if he did something wrong, then by all means,
like whatever, throw the book at him. You break the law, you break the law. Like that's fine. But it seems like, anyways, I don't want to get into it, but we'll see what happens. But guys, be careful out there. Like, if you're, just be careful. And I hope that Kai is just a lot more careful with this. Don't go on streams trying to blow girls up, blow at your, trying to this going back and forth online, trying to shame people or whatever. Like, you got to be careful because people have receipts, people have text messages. You just got to be careful out there. Anyways, I'll keep you guys up to date on the story. Hopefully it doesn't turn into anything more than it is right now, but I'll follow up on this and let you guys know what's up. All right, this brings us to speed news. Ring my bell. Kendrick Lamar facing ghostwriting allegations after a reference track surfaces. All right, I told you guys in speed news what we're going to do. Just sidebar, sorry, 1 second. In speed news today, instead of doing different news topics, the first 5 or 6 stories are all going to be about the repercussions with the Drake diss track. Before we get into them, well, this is part of it. There's Kendrick, there's Ross, or whatever. So we're just going to have a little bit of fun and go down with everything that happened after Drake put out his diss track. Okay, so after that, academics. I got this from No Jumper. They put out a reference track, and there was also apparently audio from a ghostwriter that I found too, talking to somebody from TDE about ghostwriting allegations. Take a listen.
This is bad. This makes us look really stupid. But anyway, this is what happens when the owner of your label, well, Drake and them don't really care. They straight. Their money's coming through with no problems. So that hasn't been a situation with them.
So this is apparently hold on, let me zoom in here. CJ Francis 1. That's apparently his Instagram handle. He's the one saying that he apparently has ghostwritten for Kendrick. So, like I said, after Drake put up the track, a lot of stuff happened, and this is one of the things I think Drake is probably leaking this through his channels on the internet to kind of scare Kendrick to be like, yo, this is what I have on you, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Because somebody I didn't get a screenshot of it, but somebody was like, yo, is this what you have in the cut? And he's like, yo, this is just the beginning. I got a lot worse. And even Who Kid, who actually put out the diss track, who helped Drake record the diss track, said he has a lot more. So I don't know if it's Kendrick ghostwriting rumors next. That's going to be the next track, or maybe that's the nuclear weapon that he has, because we all know that's how Meek tried to end Drake. We'll see if Kendrick could come back. We'll see if it's true. So the first thing is Kendrick ghostwriting rumors. Okay, and our second speed story, Drake's put out a text message between him and his mom. Like I told you guys earlier at the top of the show, part of Rick Ross's diss is that he had that saying that Drake got a nose job because he wanted to look whiter, didn't want to look like his dad. So Drake put this up on his Instagram on Sunday and said, this was from a text message between him and his mom. He said, "Obs, the internet is saying that you got a nose job. You look the same to me in the kitchen today. I can't believe you got one without me because I've always wanted to get a nose job. Don't tell me you got tattoos without me and now this too." So Drake wrote back, laughing emoji. He said, "I would have gotten us a 2-for-1 deal if I went, ma. It's coming from Rick Ross, the guy I did songs with. He's gone loopy off the Monjero. He hasn't been eating in days, and it's turned him angry and racist. He's performing at proms for money. It's bad. Don't worry, we'll handle it." Like, I thought it was hilarious. And this just goes to show you that Drake doesn't care about the Rick Ross diss track. That's why he's making jokes about it. Like, he just wants to battle Kendrick. So anyways, I thought this was really funny. Rick Ross has been making posts all Sunday talking about Drake. He's had a hoodie wearing Drake on stage, and it did look like he was at a prom. It looked like a small stage. But yeah, anyway, so this was Drake announcing to the world that he didn't get a nose job or get liposuction. It was just hilarious. All right, in our third speed Drizzy story, Rick Ross's new record reveals he unfollowed Drake after the rapper sent a cease and desist letter to French Montana. So all jokes aside, this was actually good to know why Rick Ross unfollowed Drake. Well, and so there you have it. It's because he got a cease and desist. I'll read to you a little bit of the story. Rick Ross sent another major shot towards Drake in his new diss song, which is a response to Drake allegations that seemingly leaked today. This is just a small bit of what he had to say. He revealed that Drake sent a cease and desist to French Montana as he was putting together a project. Rick Ross said he then unfollowed Drake after that. So what I find weird is that you're telling me that happened right around the time when Future and Metro were putting out their album, because I don't think that French put out anything recently. So this was probably happened a couple of weeks ago or maybe like a month ago. And I just think that maybe Ross was upset at Drake maybe for doing that, because French Montana didn't come out and say if this was true or not. But let's just give Ross the benefit of the doubt. But if it is true, things like this happen all the time in the music industry, all the time. Somebody doesn't clear someone's sample. You hear about it with Kanye West and Nicki Minaj. You drop a verse. Like, it's just literally like a work. You know when somebody does something to you at work? Oh, you called this meeting, or you said something in a meeting or whatever. This happens all the time. Somebody didn't clear a sample. Somebody didn't clear a verse. Somebody sent a cease and desist. Like, they're friends, but stuff happens. It's still a work environment. It's not always, on stage laughing and joking around. So this happens all the time, even to the best of friends. Okay. So I think this probably happened. Ross wasn't happy about it. But then when Future and Metro and Kendrick went at Drake, then Ross was like, yo, let me jump into this now. That's what I think is happening with like ASAP and all that. I think it's like these guys have little things that Drake has done to like upset them. And they're like, well, since everyone now is beating up on Drake, let me jump in and get my kick in while I can, which is that's just weak. Like, I don't know, like pick your own battles and take your own fights. But anyways, at least we know why, Ross unfollowed Drake, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but just to let you guys know, French Montana has not confirmed or denied this. Okay. All right, in our fourth speed Drizzy story, Rick Ross trolls Drake online. I have a little clip for you guys. It's actually really funny. This is Drake. This is Ross at his house. And for those of you who are not seeing this on YouTube right now, go to my YouTube page and you can see it. He's in his backyard. He's at his pool, and he has like his wine or his rosé or whatever. And he has a few things that he's saying to Drake. Take a listen.
I just realized BBL Drizzy called his mommy on me. He shared their text messages between each other. Cupcake Drake, tell your mama you stayed out past your curfew, white boy. But anyway, big nose. Boy, you had 25% body fat with a carved out 6-piece. Stop. We know what time it is. That shit costs 40 bands.
You see, this it's funny, not saying anything, but this kind of takes away from Ross's track for me personally. Like, dude, you had a great comeback. You wrote a track in 2 hours, sent it to academics. It was amazing. Like, don't go now on Sunday and like you're like making IG stories and you're continuing it. Like you said what you said in the track, let it stay on wax, not IG stories. Like, I understand Drake put the thing in his stories, but it was a text message between him and his mom. He's not going out there and making full IG stories talking back. If you're going to talk, keep it on wax. Make a second diss track if you'd like. But it was funny, but I'm just saying, you're saying the same things you said in the diss track on Instagram. You just keep on going. It just looks like you're clout chasing. So what I said earlier about him being a boss and being a mobster and being gangster, this takes that away a little. So if just advice to Ross, I would stop doing that and let your music do the talking. All right, in our fifth speed Drizzy story, not only did everybody comment this weekend on what's going on with Drake and Kendrick and Ross, Ross's baby mama jumped in and had this to say online.
I don't give a who say I'm a op. I'd rather be a op than to be a cop. Bet that. I'd rather be a op than to be a cop.
She had to just weigh in and remind us that Rick Ross used to be a correctional officer. Drake alluded to that a little bit in the diss track, referencing to Officer Ricky, 50 Cent. That's why 50 Cent is on Drake's side. He's also using Who Kid. But yeah, I thought that was funny. And just a reminder that Rick Ross used to be a correctional officer. He used to be a cop. Also, I forgot to save this clip too, but Rick Ross's ex from like a couple of months ago, Christina Mackey, who actually just put out a track last week that I played that I said she looked super hot. She actually came on her IG too, and she was in the gym and she was working out to Drake music in the background. So 2 women came on Drake's side and against Ross, his ex and his baby mama. So it's not looking good for Rick Ross out here. All right, in our 6th Drizzy speed story, like I told you, everybody weighed in, even Uma Thurman. If you guys remember Uma Thurman from Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction, Drake over, I think on Saturday, he put up a picture of Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. Remember, like everybody was around her, attacking her, all the ninjas or whatever they were. And that's Drake right now, right? Like everybody in the industry is coming at him. So he put that up. And then Uma Thurman had the outfit in her closet, and she added Drake and she said, "Hey Drake, do you need this?" And he said, "Yes, please. My pen is I can't pronounce this, the Hatachu, I think it's the sword." And the story is Drake responds to Uma Thurman saying his pen is going to be his weapon. Like I said, it was some sword, but it's going to be his weapon. Y'all think that Drake is ready to drop another big one. So anyway, shout out to Uma Thurman jumping in on the conversation, jumping in on the beef. I thought that was funny. All right, that was my last and final speed story with Drake. We'll continue and see what is going to happen next. But I don't want to hear anything about nobody else. I want to hear Kendrick and Drake. All right, in our 7th speed story, Ice Spice premieres a new song during her Coachella performance. I'm going to play a little snippet of it, and then I'll let you guys know what I think. Whoever follows me on this podcast religiously, you guys know I love Ice Spice. I love her. I love her to death. I love all the new female rappers. But, every single one of Ice Spice's songs sounds like a remix of her last song. Like, I just want to hear, and this is no shade because the song sounds dope, but it just sounds like another version of her song. It sounds like another version of Munch. I just want Ice to get with another producer, and I want to hear her, like, it's not even like, I don't mind her keeping the rap pattern, right? Like that, like, I don't even mind her keeping that flow. People are like, oh, I just want to hear her on another beat, a slow down beat. Like I just want to hear some versatility. I love her. I love her lackadaisical flow. I love the fact that she's more of a performer, and she's even said, I'm not a lyricist. That's not what I do. I just want to see Ice Spice just put her in a different environment. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just want to see Ice Spice evolve just a little bit, but this is no shade. I love the new track. Shout out to Ice Spice. All right. In our 8th speed story, Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber were viral the entire weekend. It was literally fighting with Kendrick, Drake, and Rick Ross. Like, Jaden Smith walked up behind Justin Bieber. I'm going to put up the video on my YouTube page. Go check it out at Trend Out Loud. For those of you who can't see it, I'll describe it. He walked behind Justin Bieber at Coachella. Everybody was at Coachella this weekend, by the way. Shout out to Lil Uzi Vert. I heard he killed it at his performance. But so Jaden walks up to Bieber and kind of like from behind and kind of dances with him a little, like grinds on him a little. And then Bieber has no idea who he is. He turns around, sees it's Jaden, and then gives him a kiss on the cheek. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's so gay. It's this or whatever. It's like, first of all, like, that's just a joke. Like, guys joke around like that sometimes, right? Like, obviously they're friends. Obviously you don't do that to an associate or somebody who you don't really know well. Jaden and Justin are obviously really good friends, okay? And don't tell me that, I'm not saying like everybody has that kind of relationship, but every dude has done something stupid to their friend, right? Like tap him on his butt or do something like that. Or like, it's just like a little bit of a joke. Like, I just feel like anytime Jaden Smith does something, it's like fully like crazy. And you know that he modeled for Louis Vuitton women, right? He hasn't come out and said that he's homosexual, but even if he is, like, who cares? Like, I just don't understand why this is such a big deal in 2024. Like, he has joked around with Tyler, the Creator. He said Tyler, the Creator is my boyfriend. Like, he's always joked about the gayness. He's never come out and said that he's gay or homosexual. But even if he is, or bisexual, like, with all like the trans stuff that's going on right now, and non-binary and pansexual and all this stuff, like, if Jaden Smith is gay, if him and Justin Bieber are flirting, if him and Justin Bieber are boyfriends, who cares? Like, I just don't understand. Like, literally, it was like honestly, it was neck and neck with Drake and Ross. Like, I just don't understand. Like, it was literally like 80,000 comments on the Shade Room. It's beyond me why this is such a big deal. But hey, I just had to put it in Speed Stories just to let you guys know my take, and I think it's ridiculous. All right, in our 9th Speed Story, Nelly has announced that he is bringing back apple bottoms. Yo, round of applause for Nelly. Yes, bring out the sound machine. Yo, for those of you who remember, apple bottom jeans were apple bottom jeans. They were complimenting to women who were curvy in the buttocks area. Seeing that I'm on the radio. Nelly said, don't call it a comeback, right? Throwing back to LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback because we've been here for years. Apple bottoms, I mean, listen, for me, having a sneaker boutique and apparel retail chain for 15 years, I have gone through I think it's maybe like 17 years actually this year, gone through every fashion trend there was. I remember Darion, which was Beyonce's line, Baby Fat. We carried everything. Rockaware. We also carried Apple Bottom. Apple Bottoms was amazing, a really good seller, really dope jean. I don't know why it stopped, especially now in this BBL era. Like, I don't know why he didn't bring this back a long time ago. But shout out to Nelly. I'm sure Ashanti's going to be rocking some of these apple bottoms when she delivers. She still hasn't announced that she's pregnant, but we all know she is. But shout out to Nelly and the return of apple bottom jeans. All right, in our 10th and final Speed Story, congrats to Allen Iverson as he was honored with a sculpture at the 76ers practice facility. I'll put up a little bit of a video so you guys can see it. Apparently, not apparently, this was viral over the weekend. Not so much for the honor, which I find a little bit mean because, yo, just be happy that he got honored. But, yo, normally like somebody at Allen Iverson level of greatness, you would have a statue. So they said this was a sculpture, but it kind of looks like a trophy almost. Like, it's like miniature, like it's very, very small. And it's outside the practice facility. Like, I think everyone's making a little bit of a big deal of it, but I mean, that's online, right? Everybody wants to troll and make fun of things these days. Like, I can't lie, it is kind of funny. But yeah, it's not even like on the floor. It's like on this pedestal, and it looks kind of like a glorified trophy. And I do think Allen Iverson, although he didn't bring a championship, and I think that's probably why he doesn't have a statue. Most people that have a statue outside of people's arenas is because you brought them a championship. But although Allen Iverson didn't deliver Philadelphia a championship, he's still goated. He's still one of the best. He still crossed up MJ. And I think he deserves more than a sculpture outside your practice facility. So maybe this is just the beginning, and later on he'll be honored with a statue. But I do think that this is kind of funny, but Allen Iverson deserves a statue. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Okay, I have 2 questions of the day. I have to go through them quickly because I am low on time. Which alcohol left you so wrecked you promised to never touch it again? Ugar Point 305 wrote Bacardi 501, Mad Dog 2020 in my early years. I couldn't drink anything orange flavored for 5 years. Okay, I've never had Bacardi 551. I heard that's crazy, and I have no idea what Mad Dog 2020 is, but it sounds dangerous. Graphic Chick 44 wrote Patron, which is tequila. Jay Andrex wrote tequila, but then she wrote a whole paragraph. I'll read a little bit. It didn't make me feel drunk or tipsy. It just gave me energy to do the most. On my birthday last year, the club got shot up and I turned out, actually, okay, I'm not going to continue reading that, but okay, tequila was her answer. One Step 82 wrote Fireball. It left me traumatized. Side note, my dad actually worked for Seagram's for 40 years, and he actually was the one who invented Fireball. So anybody who loves Fireball, that's actually my dad's formula. He created Fireball. Just a little side note for you guys to know. Carlos Guitar Girl wrote Tequila, but I keep coming back. Somebody wrote Jack Daniels is wicked. Wayno wrote Henny. Somebody else, oh no, that was the same thing. Pink Whitney and 40 Loco. 40 Loco sounds crazy. Never tried that. Somebody wrote UV Blue. Here, this is what I was looking for. Somebody wrote Ray and Nephew. Shout out to all my Jamaicans out there. If you know Ray and Nephew, you know that's Jamaicans overproof white rum, dangerous. Somebody wrote Sky Blue Vodka. Somebody wrote Dark Liquor in general. And I only have time for one more. Somebody said liquid crack, aka orange juice, and old 40 E800. Anytime alcohol has a number on it, stay away. Trust me. Anyways, I thought this one was funny because for me, like, I could drink. As you guys know, I just told you my father makes alcohol for a living. He worked at Seagram's, which was now Diageo, for 40 years. He made peach naps. He had a hand in making Captain Morgan spice rum, Fireball, wine coolers. So I grew up with alcohol in my house. I am a drinker. I can handle my alcohol. I am Jamaican. I could drink and be totally fine. You won't even know I'm drunk. I've never been like stumbling around. Tequila has me on another level. Anytime I have tequila, it's a problem. It's a problem. So I make sure I have tequila like when I'm at home or when I'm around like people that I could trust, like family members, because tequila is dangerous. All right, in our second speed story, what year would you go back to if you had a time machine? All right, somebody said, Young Miami wrote 2013 with no explanation. Justin LeBoy said there's only one right answer, 2016, respectfully. Why is everybody saying 2016? 2016. Okay, somebody said 2000. Kesha Face Queen wrote 2003, so I could hug my mom one more time. Oh, that's sad. Somebody wrote 2016 Summer Controller. I guess it was a music time. I think maybe a lot of good music. Somebody wrote Not Gonna Lie, 2020. Actually liked being inside. Hold on. Somebody wrote 2015, 2016 was the best, hands down. We had the best music era. I knew that probably had something to do with music. Okay, I'll read one more. Again, somebody said, a lot of people saying 2016 was the time of their life. And then one person said anytime in the 90s period. The time that I would like to go back to would be, I know a lot of you might be shocked about this. I would like to go back to the beginning of COVID. And I know for COVID, it was a little bit uneasy for some people. Some people obviously didn't like it. Some people had loss. I had some deaths attributed or because of COVID. So I feel you. But hey, this question is just for me personally. And of course, I didn't necessarily like all this sickness and the illness and stuff that was going down. But what I liked about that time is I enjoyed being inside. Like that person said, that's why when I didn't think anybody else was going to say it. I liked being inside and not being able to go outside because I'm a busybody. I'm always around. So it was the first time probably in my life that I just sat still. You know what I mean? Like you had no choice but to sit still. And it was good. It was just really good. I liked it. And what I really liked about it was I liked that for the first time, I think ever, the entire world was on one page. Like, I don't think that will ever happen again. Like the entire world was fixated on one thing and one thing only. Like normally it's like, even like with the eclipse, right? Like I told you guys last week, like we had the eclipse, but it was only in North America. I was speaking to this girl in London. She's like, no, we had no eclipse over here. Like, what are you guys talking about? Right? Or something could happen, like an earthquake could happen somewhere, or a war could be happening somewhere where it doesn't affect. Like this was the first time like the entire planet was affected by one thing and everybody was concentrating on one thing. Like all you talked about was COVID-19. I understand that it was sad and there was death and people were losing their jobs or whatever. But I just think for the first time that I can remember, all of humanity was all on the same page, working towards the same goal. And I just thought it was just really nice that we could all be on one timeline. I thought it was really cool. So I would like to go back to that. And like I said, just the stillness and just everything just coming to a standstill, I thought was nice. All right, this brings us to sports news. Okay, I'm going to run through this topic quickly. The play-in tournament is set. Let's go. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I knew when it started there was mixed reactions, but I love the play-in tournament. I think it just gets this a little bit of excitement before we go into the playoffs. Because y'all know the beginning of the playoffs is whack anyways, right? First place plays eighth place. Eighth place never really stands a chance. Like, it just sucks. It takes a while to get into the excitement. So I think this cutthroat kind of play-in tournament is amazing. The Lakers will play the Pelicans tomorrow at 7:30, which is Tuesday, April 16th. Warriors will play the Kings. That's on the West Coast. And then on the East Coast, the Heat will play the Sixers. The Hawks will play the Bulls. So for me, more, it's the West Coast. So Lakers and Pelicans play. So that's 7th and 8th seed. The loser of the 7 and 8 seed will play the winner of the Warriors and the Kings. So I think the Warriors were in 10th place, so it's lucky. They're lucky. I think the Warriors will beat the Kings. I don't know if this is what I think or what I hope. I hope the Warriors beat the Kings. I think the Lakers will beat the Pelicans. They just played the Pelicans, I think it was Sunday or was Saturday. So the Lakers will beat the Pelicans. Oh no! I just realized something. Oh, this sucks. If the Lakers beat the Pelicans, they get the 7th seed, and then the Pelicans will have to play the Warriors. Then the Warriors will automatically get in. Oh, sorry. I was just all excited for nothing. Yo, this sucks. Anyways, let's hope the Pelicans beat the Lakers, and then the Lakers have to play the Warriors, and then I hope the Warriors beat the Lakers. That's what I hope. For the East Coast, I'm sure it's just going to be Philly is probably going to beat I don't know, Philly, Miami, depends how Embiid plays, but I think Miami might end up, that's a close one. I'm going to go Miami beats Sixers, and then Sixers will end up beating the Hawks or the Bulls. I think the Bulls will probably win that. So it's going to be the Heat will get 7th and the 76ers get 8th place. 8th place. That's my prediction for the play-in tournament. You guys let me know. Send me an email at trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Let me know your picks for the play-in tournament, and also let me know what you think about the tournament. Don't only email me, but you can also comment below underneath this YouTube video, and you could send me anything on my social handles. All right, that is it. That is the show. I hope you guys liked it. As always, if you're watching this on YouTube or on podcast platforms, please check me out on cfqr600.com anywhere in the world. Weekdays from 11 to 12, we play this podcast with your favorite 90s hip-hop and R&B hits, and vice versa. If you're listening to this on the radio and you can't always catch this between 11 and 12, I actually think they're replaying my show now from, I think, 8 to 9 during the weeks. But if you can't catch it between 11 to 12 or 8 to 9 on the radio or on .com, you can always catch it on YouTube or on podcast platforms. Just search Trent Out Loud. Thanks for kicking it with me. We got through this Monday together. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.